Morning, Nigel. Let's start with the FA Cup first round draw. Curzon Ashton away of the National League North. What did you make of that?
Yeah, interesting draw. I think that was viewed as an opportunity for a little bit of a giant killing. Could have been better, could have been worse, one of those, but they're going very well in the Conference North at the moment. So it'll be a tough game.
Decent chance of it being televised?
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a couple of others. Obviously, Sutton, Birmingham stand out, and one or two others. But I'm not sure how many they do put on for the first round. But obviously, there's no replays, is there, from this year? So it's one of those extra time and then penalties. So we've got to get through.
Let's move away from the FA Cup and speak about the break, which you and your players have enjoyed.
Yeah, it was a good time after the efforts of the few weeks and the fantastic results we had. It was a good time to get a break. Buys us another week to get the injured players a little bit closer to fitness. Obviously, the international lads, we ended up having 4 in the end, called up with Christy Pym, getting a call up to Northern Ireland. I know that Keanu's playing, I think, tonight for Australia. Ben Wayne came on and scored and started in another one, which is great for him. And then we'll see them back here on Friday, and we'll assess the extent of the state of jet lag that they're in at the time.
Yeah, how do you go about that, whether they're going to be available for selection or not at home to Stevenage, bearing in mind they've been playing all over the world?
Yeah, we'll just see how they feel on Friday morning and then on Saturday. Whether they'll be available to start or not is unlikely. But even if they're fit enough for the bench, it's a long old haul. I think to go there and back within 10 days and play a game or two as well, it's a big ask for them.
That was particularly good news, albeit a little bit surprising because I don't think many people knew of Christy Pym's connection with Northern Ireland. It came from one of his grandmothers. But what a great piece of news for him and the club that he was called up for the first time to represent Northern Ireland. Yeah,
I think it is great recognition of how good he's been. I don't think just in the last year or two, but before that as well. In his time with Exeter and Peterborough, he's been a very good, solid goalkeeper for a good few years now. But we weren't aware either. I think he was eligible for Northern Ireland Republic and also Canada. So he's still eligible for the others. So I don't think he's played a game. So until you get on the pitch, but I would hope he can get on the pitch and make his senior debut if possible. I know one lad pulled out. I think Peacock Farrell pulled out injured. Thought he might have a chance of starting. So we'll see.
What do you have to say about the levels of endeavour at this moment in time amidst this terrific run?
That's what's getting us the results. We can't praise the players highly enough. We've just got to keep it going. But in the 9 league games so far this season, it's been an incredible effort. And also, I look back at even the defeat at Rotherham and the Bristol Street Motors, we played well. We should have won at Bolton in the League Cup. Had half a team out against Bradford. So over the dozen games that we've played, the consistency level of performance extremely high, and asking pretty much the same lads as well, and also people coming in for a game when maybe they shouldn't be playing or they're not quite ready. I think that's been another key factor.
Where does that work rate, that desire stem from?
I think within the group and the principles we try and instill in the team, we don't get anywhere in football. All the best teams are the most hard-working teams, and then if you can play a little bit of football on top of that, but that's the bottom line: is the work rate and the competitiveness all over the pitch, and a desire not to lose, and then to go from there and to win. And if we can get a group with that mentality, then we have a chance.
Earlier in the season, you'd been calling for a clean sheet, and now you've got 3 on the bounce.
Yeah, I'm going to try and keep that going. I think the change of formation, as enforced as it has been, has certainly helped, made us a little bit more solid, maybe. And maybe also not quite as attacking minded and creating lots and lots of chances, but we create enough, and also the chances are created in different ways as well now. We scored from 2 crosses on Saturday. Steve McLaughlin's put the first one in, and then the second one he's in at the far post as a left wing back, and got on the end of a cross from Hiram, knocked it back across for Will Evans, and he's where he should be in the 6-yard box on both occasions. So it's I think once we lost Davis, and the way I'm not sure we could have played the way we did last season anyway, going up a level. So once we lost him, it changes certainly the dynamic of the team.
Yeah, what did you think about in terms of the dynamic of the team once you lost Davis Keeler-Dunn, in the way that you had to maybe adapt and evolve?
Yeah, and that's it, and adjust. We're adjusting to the new league anyway, and then we're just into a new formation now, and a few new players still settling in. So, but obviously, the results we've had, it's been extremely encouraging, and we'll keep working on it and keep trying to improve. And I'm sure we're going to have setbacks. You know, nobody's getting carried away. We're only 9 games, but less than 20% of the season. So we've got some tough fixtures around the corner, but let's keep it going while we can.
With that said, and nobody is expecting you or anybody in this building and back at the One Call Stadium to get carried away. With all that said, you have amassed an incredibly impressive amount of points at this stage.
Yeah, it's great to get them on the board, because I still think we'll need them later on in the season, because every team, whichever league and wherever they are, the vast majority of teams go through a tough spell where you could easily, we've just won 4 or 5 on the spin. That could be reversed, and you could lose 4 or 5 or get a draw or something like that. That's why it's good to get the points on the board early.
And the last match saw the long-awaited return of Alfie Kilgore back on the pitch for the first time in over a year.
I think it was the 3rd biggest cheer of the day after the 2 goals. Absolutely brilliant to see him back on the field, and charging around up front actually for the last 5 or 10 minutes, but didn't want to disturb the back 3 or back 5 defensively. And I think he was probably the last thing that their centre halves wanted to see coming on at that time. But yeah, I think gives everybody a huge lift when we see him. First of all, we do internally back in training, but then the crowd get to see him back on the pitch.
Elsewhere, what's the latest from the treatment room?
Yeah, they're all coming back in dribs and drabs. How many will be available for Saturday, I'm not sure. They're all close to being back in training. Maybe this week, middle of this week, later in the week or something. I'm not sure anybody will be available for Saturday, but should be not far away now for quite a few of them.
Any more specific updates, Gregory in particular?
Yeah, he's down, I think, to train to come to the end of the week and see how he is. Flinty's going to be back on the grass soon. Lucas the same. Bailey Cargill will be towards the end of the week.
Finally from me, Stevenage come to the One Call Stadium on Saturday. What's your assessment of their start?
I think they've been very good indeed. We had them obviously watched at Peterborough last week, and they should have won the game. They were very impressive. And one of our old players, Jamie Reid as well, who's had a wonderful season or two, resulting in international recognition as well. It'd be nice to see him. He's one of those players where it's such a difficult one when he left. He wanted to play regularly and this and that, and everyone thought it was the best, but we had no doubt that he was one of those that could come back and haunt you. So it'd be nice to catch up with him.
Thank you.